If you're a younger horror fan, you might not have had a chance to watch a lot of older horror movies. And that's totally okay. But if you want to get to know the genre deeper, here's my recommendation for a terrifying older movie that's a must-see for a younger audience. Slumber Party Massacre. Released in 1982, the script was originally written by feminist activist Rita Mae Brown as a parody to slashers. It was then picked up by a studio to be not a parody and totally legit slasher flick that gets directed by Amy Holden Jones, and it's precisely that conflict that makes Slumber Party Massacre so damn good. As the title suggests, the film is about a bunch of teenage girls being massacred at a slumber party. An escaped killer starts offing pretty young women, and one of the first victims is killed early on in a stalking and killing scene that is surprisingly tense and scary. Even though the studio picked up the script to be a legitimate horror film, Brown's feminist critique of women in horror is still delightfully apparent. When I first watched this movie as a little kid, I saw it as nothing more than a fun, scary movie. It took several years before teenage girls getting giant drill bits shoved in their mouths took on a more sexual connotation. And Brown does arm her killer with what has to be the most phallic weapon in horror cinema, complete with a final girl who manages to cut the drill bit in half with a machete. Slumber Party Massacre works because it's smart and funny and scary. Brown's commentary on the misogyny and exploitation of women in horror is still in this film, but because it isn't presented as a parody, Slumber Party Massacre gets to deliver its message without feeling like a gender studies course. It's smart, it's insightful, and most importantly, it's frightening. So pick up the DVD, or it's streaming on Shudder right now, and give this glorious little gem all the love that it deserves. And as always, if you love horror and you want to explore the genre deeper, hit the plus for more recommendations.